afternoon, Representative VanDeWege. How are you holding up?
Very well, thank you.
6 week session?
Yeah, very good.
You're sponsoring a constitutional amendment requiring public pensions to be properly funded. Would this only benefit state employees?
No, this would benefit everybody involved in the pension system, and then really the whole state of Washington benefits from this. Washington State currently has well-funded pension systems. In fact, we're probably in the top 3 states in the nation as far as our pension system funding goes, but we can always be better. And what this constitutional amendment does is ensure that our pensions are funded out into the future, which is good for people who have invested their own money. People that are in the pension system pay for half the pension system. But really it also benefits the whole state because if a pension system ever got close to default, it's the taxpayers that have to end up paying for that. And this constitutional amendment would protect them from that happening.
You signed on to a bill that would end some tax expenditures in order to prevent 50,000 Washingtonians from losing their health care coverage. How would that work?
Well, the bill is closing tax loopholes, and I did co-sponsor it. I feel pretty passionately about it. I think if we can close some of the tax loopholes that are being abused the most, we have a better chance of being able to keep things like basic health, which is subsidized health insurance for the working poor. The legislation closes 2 major tax loopholes that we have. One that goes to big banks, and I think really over the past couple of years across the country, people have lost a lot of faith in big banks. They have caused people a lot of pain and anguish. And we shouldn't be giving them a tax exemption, and this state does give big out-of-state banks a tax exemption, and I think we should stop that. The other one is elective cosmetic surgery, plastic surgery. We give a tax exemption of that. And I think that's just an industry right now, especially the elective, well, particularly the elective stuff, that we don't need to be given a tax exemption for. So the legislation would close both of those, and we actually, by bringing in those tax dollars that they aren't paying, would potentially be enough by itself to save the basic health plan.
What are the chances of this proposal making it through the legislature?
I think the chances probably honestly are pretty slim because with Initiative 1053, it requires a 2/3 vote on any new revenue the state sees, and that includes if we close a tax loophole or a tax exemption. That is unrealized revenue, and that's really unfortunate because my personal biggest issue with Initiative 1053, Initiative 960 was that it doesn't allow us to take action on tax loopholes, and that's, I think, the direction that we need to go when we're solving budget crises like the one we're in.
This is week 6 of the session. It's policy cutoff. Can you give just a brief explanation of what that means?
The House and the Senate both have policy cutoffs, and any policy bill that is not voted out of committee by today for the House, Thursday, is dead. It can't be entertained anymore. If it has some sort of fiscal impact, if it costs the state money, or if it generates revenue, then it has another couple of weeks. But most bills today that are not out of committee died.
So starting next week, House members head to the floor and start voting on some of the bills that have made it this far?
Right, that's the next step of the process. We're on the floor voting bills that have already been voted out of committee off the House floor.
Great. Well, we'll check in with you in a couple of weeks. Thank you.